Against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war. We wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me.
What's up out there, family and friends? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, coming again on these Motivational Mondays. I hope you all are off to a phenomenal start to this week. If you've been sitting here riding with this Awaken Your I Am conversation for the last 2 years, almost right coming up on 2 years, that we've been talking about awakening our I am. If you've been rolling with us, I know your state of being. And I know you're someone that's excited and full of zest about life. Hey, Vaniqua, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm starting to see other eyes pop in the room. Say what's up to your boy. You don't go to your family house and don't say anything to him. Holla at your boy out there tonight. For all my replayers, give me about a minute and a half as I share this video out to all my social media outlets. I'm starting to see more eyes come out there. What's up, Facebook? I see you hopping on here. Holla at your boy. While I share this out, love to see how your day, your week is off to a tremendous start is my hope and my prayer for you. And tonight we're going to get into another bread-breaking moment. Let me share this out to my social media outlets. And if you would, please share this to your top 5 relationships. I'm telling you, the people that you want, that you love, and you want to see grow and prosper in their life, hey, start tagging them in these Motivational Mondays, man, and help them begin to change their life. I'm telling you, if you want something for yourself, we talked about it on Bridging the Nations yesterday. I think Lady Queen mentioned it, that if you want something for yourself, the seed is always within itself, man. The more that you give, the more you share, the more that the windows of heaven will be open to you, and you can receive that blessing. But the moment where we try to hoard things in our life, and all I want is to see myself prosper and get to the other side, then I'm hindering my own growth in my own life. So I'm asking you tonight, invite your top 5 relationships. We're gonna get ready to break this bread up. Give me about 30 more seconds as I share this out. Hey, I see the ATBA community hopping in here. What's up, people? Able to be able. Thank y'all for joining these Motivational Mondays. Man, it means so much to have the same consistent people hopping in here. These are the people that have a growth trajectory, people that's looking to do something great out there. And I'm going to continue this conversation tonight. I'm finna go ahead and send this because I am so excited about getting into this bread-breaking moment. All right. Hey, what's up, Angelique? Hey, Lisa, thank you for joining us. Hey, Chu, thank you for joining us tonight. Can't complain about life. Perhaps I'm blessed. Come on. Go ahead and kick us off tonight. Yep. Let's get into this thing. My notes starting to fall already. I ain't got crunk yet. Usually when I get the bumping and kicking, stuff start falling, but I'm just in here. It's going to be one of these nights. Episode 110, Awaken Your I Am. Tonight, I want to talk about the state of I am. Come on, man. Y'all get in there. Y'all get in that chat box. The state of I am. Man, I got to tell y'all, thank y'all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Pat, for hopping in here, man. Like, this last 2 years has been a phenomenal journey for me as I learned to discover who I am and who God is to me. What's up, Coach T? I see you here tonight. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, Mondays are a good night to be off, Coach. Way to hop in here with us. Tonight, we're talking about the state of I am. And we're going to continue to deepen this conversation, and we're going to continue to grow to discover the true purpose and the true person. That's a better way of saying it. The true person that God created me to be. Like right now, I'm good. Like right now, I might be operating at 60% of what I've been created to do. I'm okay with that because I understand that I'm growing to get to that 70%. Right now, you might not be where you want to be, and you might be operating at 60% capacity. But I'm challenging you to maximize that 60%. And tonight, as we get into this state of I am, we're going to start to understand a little bit more about who we are. Because I'm telling you, there's only one problem in a man's life. man, meaning Homo sapien, male, female alike. There's only one problem in a male, female's life. The only challenge for a man or a woman is that they don't understand who they are in the great I am. There's no lack of resources. There's no lack of money. There's no lack of food. I can go get 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and feed 5,000 if I need it, if I understand whose I am and who I am. Come on, let's go. There's no lack of anything in this earth to a person who understands their state of I am. Boy, I'm gonna break bread tonight. The state of am, that word am, is the first person singular present tense of be. All right, am is the present tense of be. We going somewhere tonight, and see, for people that show up late, they're gonna miss the foundation of this conversation. And if you miss this foundation of this conversation, whatever else you get after that, sometimes can be on rocky ground if you don't get that foundation. Am is the first person singular present of be. I am that I am is singular present tense, a first person singular present of be. I am the motivational teacher to the masses, first person singular present. But we know in life there are three different spaces. Yeah, I'm at 50 plus. I'm getting there. Come on. Yeah, we getting there. That's the past, that's the present, and there's the future. There are 3 tenses that we deal with currently all at one time. I'm breaking bread right now. We live in the present, but we're making decisions from the past and we're making decisions from the future. Come on now. Every decision that we make has some implication from what I've been through or where I'm going. We cannot deny that my life is full of decisions about where either I'm planning down the road or I'm trying to run or I'm escaping what I've been through. Come on, we going somewhere right now. And so that word am is first person singular present of be. Motivational teacher to the masses. Why? Motivational teacher. What's the most important was, and is to come? What's the most important tense of my life? Let me tell you, the most important tense of your life, when I say tense, I'm talking T-E-N-S-E, like present, past, future. Those are all tenses. When I'm talking tenses, you say motivational teacher, what's the most important tense of my life? I'm going to break bread with you. The most important part or tense in your life is the part that is the hardest to change. Your present is the hardest to be, or the hardest am to live in, because it's all predicated on your past and the momentum of your future. It's hard to be present what I want to be in the future, and it's hard to be present when I've gone through what I've been through in the past. We're talking about the state of am. How do I live in am, motivational teacher? Oh, I'm breaking bread tonight. It's very, very difficult. I know what the world tells us. I know what they say, that they say, blab it and grab it. I know what they say, like just what's the name and claim it. I know what they say. Come on, man. I see you. Bringing the past in your now can hinder you. Come on, Vaniqua, you said that. Hey, Mom, thank you for joining us. Yeah. I know they say blab it and grab it. They say all you got to do is control go 120 miles per hour. You need motivation. You need inspiration. I'm challenging all of that thinking. Yeah. I'm challenging all of that thinking about all the motivational stuff that we listen to. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm telling you, I need for you to be motivated. I need for you to listen to motivational speaking. I need for you to understand that there's a place for all of that in your life. But the main thing we have to be is first person singular present of am is be. If I control my be, if I control my am, I control my being, which determines or dictates my past, not my past. It dictates how I view my past, but it controls my future. And see, that's why you have an ever-present enemy that is trying to discourage you Yeah, you have an enemy. I don't care what your religion or what your belief is. You have an enemy. Whether your enemy is the abortion you had when you were younger, whether the enemy was that abusive relationship you were in, whether the enemy is that job you got fired from, whether your enemy is that poverty you grew up in, whether the enemy is that negative marriage you grew up in and it shaped your belief about marriage. We all got enemies. Or some people would call them generational curses. Whether you believe in the devil or not, I'm not here to argue that with you. But what I am saying that you got enemies that are trying to control your state of being or your I am. I'm getting ahead of myself. You got enemies. And the moment you realize that you have principalities and power that are warred against you being the better version of you, the moment you stop complaining about what goes wrong and you say, man, look, I am stronger than this situation. I am stronger than what I just went through. Come on, man. The enemy can't be you. My greatest enemy is my enemy. And a lot of times, Pat, what you just said is so true. My enemy, if you notice, everything that I said that I talked about was your enemy were all things that happened in the past, because the things that happened in the past shapes your decision making for the future. If I can change your decision making in the past, I no longer have to fight you in the present, because your past is determining your present decisions. What's going to determine your future outlook. We're all living in three tenses right now, whether you know it or not. Come on, man. This is a breaking moment right here. Am, first person, singular, present of be. Break bread, motivational teacher. To put it simply, your state of being describes your current circumstances or your current experience. Check this out now. Your state of being describes your current experience, how things are going, the general tone of your circumstances. Your state of being dictates your general tone of your circumstances. I've made this comment multiple times. And any of you all that's been on these Motivational Mondays for any length of time, or even on Bridge of the Nations, you've heard me say that life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to the 10. Motivational teacher, what do you mean? Your state of being is how things are going, the general tone of your circumstances. The tone of your circumstances is determined by how you view a situation. Somebody could look at a cup of water and it could be half filled. Somebody would say that glass is half empty. Somebody else would say it's half filled. It's determined by the general tone of your circumstances. I'm breaking bread right now. We look at the manifestation in our life, and right now I may not have the manifestation that I'm looking for, but understand that that is the general tone of your circumstances. If you begin to change your state of be, or you begin to change your state of am, or if you begin to change your perspective, you change your state of being. Oh, that's a bread-breaking moment. Thank you for joining us, Jackie. Come on, Angelique. If I can elevate my mind, come on, man. If I can elevate my mind to see my situation differently, me alone can change my state of being. My state of being is only tied to my current set of beliefs. Be, belief, become. It's all tied to how I view my current set of circumstances. Therefore, to be means to simply exist. Therefore, your state of being describes the quality and state of that existence. To be means to simply exist. My question to us is, how are we existing? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's talk about this. We're talking about awakening our I am. In order for me to awaken my I am, I really have to understand the means to simply exist. How do I simply exist? See, that come on, man. There cannot be 5 different versions of my I am. I just broke bread. There cannot be 5 different versions of my being. And see, the challenge for us, so many of us, that we are so We're different in so many different settings. When I'm at home, I'm different than I am when I'm at work. When I'm at work, I'm different than I am when I'm at church. When I'm at church, I'm different than I am at the grocery store. So there are so many states of versions of our existing that now we're confused about which version of me is real. I'm breaking bread right now. Hey, Tina, thank you for joining us. Are we living or are we existing? To be means to simply exist. We got to change the way we view our I am. Got to be so intentional about your own life. You got to be so intentional about the thoughts that rumble and ramble in your mind. You have to be so intentional about the people you allow to speak into your life, because all of those things determine your state of being. A person can never outperform their state of be or their state of am. I just broke bread. You cannot outperform your state of am or your state of be. I broke bread. You can cry. You can call fire from heaven, and your state of be will not change. Because as someone said earlier, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What is he saying, motivational teacher? You can be no more than your state of be until you change what you think. You cannot change, so is he. And so a lot of us are trying to change, so is he, without changing the way we think. Come on, man. I'm breaking some good bread up in here tonight until we begin to tap in our state of be or our state of am. We cannot change. Just so is he. I know, motivational teacher. Got to have a full cup to quench your thirst for the Most High, having all the gross perspective and wisdom. That's why he always said wisdom is the principal thing. Get understanding. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Why, motivational teacher? Because I can't increase my be without gaining new knowledge and new experiences. I cannot increase my be. I cannot increase my I am. And that's the challenge with a lot of folk, not y'all, but a lot of folk they don't want to spend any time developing themselves. They don't want to read a book. They think the stuff that I'm doing now is too much and it's overkill. They think going to a Bible-based church, going somewhere to get some good word, it don't take all that. They think because you doing the things that you doing, they think you halfway crazy and you don't look like the rest of us. And they all want to challenge your thinking and your state of being. Why? Because you, one rising tide raises all the ships. And by you being the one to take the mantle on your shoulders and say, I'm going to change this generation, they're going to look at you the same way. And you got to understand that the challenge is, how do I continue to push my state of be, my state of am, in the midst of controversy and conflict? The moment you decide that I'm now going to live and not exist, and the only way to, oh yeah, I'm going to break bread tonight. The only way to live and not to merely exist is to take every thought captive and be intentional about your own life. Every decision that you make, you're intentional about it. The most abused life in this earth is the person that has no purpose for his life. When you don't know the purpose for a thing, abuse is inevitable. Why is there crackhead down there in the gutter smoking crack? Because they're being eaten up from the inside out, because they see no value for their own life. Come on, man. Why is the alcoholic? They're trying to run from their own existence. They say, why is there somebody that's trapped in their own mind? Because they're running from their own existence. And the moment people start awakening, there I am, it's the moment where true power has now been released in their life. Whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. Until you become free in your mind, you're going to always struggle. The world is going to, I promise you this. The world only wants to see you fare well. The world only wants to see you have enough to barely eat. The world only wants you to have enough so you can just something you can barely sleep in. The world only wants you to have enough to fix a little bit for you and your household. Don't worry about nobody else. Come on, man. Come on. The world only wants you to just have your little corner over here. The world wants to continue to pay you $25, $50 an hour. The world wants you to just fare. Y'all heard of that. They only want you to fare well. And the moment we begin to understand that my be is tied to all my life goals. My B is tied to whatever I want to become. And when we go through these things, we have to, oh man, let me say this. My B has to be stronger than my C. I said something like that yesterday. My B has to be stronger than my C. My BE, capital BE, has to be stronger than my SEE. Come on, man. I'm breaking bread right now. Somebody better write that in the chat box. My BE has to be stronger than my SEE. Come on, man. That's strong right there. I got to get somebody to get that in the chat box. I can't move that. I can't move past that until I know you see it, until I know you got it, until I know you can become it. Come on, man. I need you to get in the chat box. And I think this next point is where I think a lot of mere humans, people that lean to their humanity more than they lean to their deity, this next point is where I believe my B has to be stronger than my C. Come on, Coach T. If we can remember that, man, come on, Angelique. If we can remember that right there, if I can remember that right there, that what I see is subject to change by my B. Hey, B always comes before C. Somebody will write that down. If I got my B, I can SEE whatever it's supposed to be. That's strong right there. And I think this next point is the piece where we sometimes miss it. A state of being is made up of qualities and not life goals. For example, being happy is a state of mind. It's not a goal to be achieved or measured. I just want to be happy. Happiness is not a set of circumstances. I remember it was 8 of us in a 3-bedroom trailer, and we were happy. Come on, talk, come on, Mom. It was 8 of us in a 3-bedroom trailer, and we were happy. Our happiness had very little to do with our external or outside resources. Happiness had everything to do with what was on the inside of us. Yeah, we had to borrow money. We had lights off sometimes. We didn't know how we were going to eat, but you know what? We were all happy in that 3-bedroom trailer. We weren't fussing and fighting. We weren't on top of each other, because being happy is a state. We weren't angry because of where we were. We weren't disappointed. We didn't come home and say, oh, my folks just so terrible because I don't have. We were happy where we were. Motivational teacher, happiness does not come with things. I know people, and I can tell you, look at Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire that was miserable and unhappy, committed suicide, had a whole lot physically going outside, but on the inside, he was dying from the inside out. Why? Because happiness is not found in things. Oh, if I could just get that new job, if I could just get that 100K, if I could just get that new car, if I could get that promotion, if I get that new husband, I'll just be happy. Newsflash, happiness is not a goal to be measured or achieved. Happiness is a state. Oh my God, I just broke bread. Happiness is a state. If I could just get that money and I can start this account, I will never be broke. Poverty is a mindset. Poverty is a state. You can have $6 million and still have a impoverished mindset. We see people all the time win the lottery, and in 3 years they back broke. We see 70% of professional athletes sign $1 million contracts and are back broke in the next 15 years. Why? Because poverty is a state. It's a state of being. If you don't change the state of being, the more resources you attract, you still equal the same outcome. I got a $700,000 house. I drive a $100,000 car, and I ain't got 2 nickels to rub together in any account. Why? Because of my poverty mindset. It's a B. We're looking to add all this stuff to validate. But it's a state of being. It's an am thing. When you become confident in your am, you don't need the external validations. Oh my God, I just broke bread. Because the things that I be are more real than the things that I see. So I don't need the validation of what I see to validate what I be. Boy, that's a bread breaking moment. If you missed the first 20 minutes, you never got that. Come on, man. We're too busy looking for the things that can be measured or achieved. Oh my God, this is good. Boy, I'm gonna run out this room. Like the law of attraction, we're looking for the things that can be measured or achieved. I'm telling you to step away from the things that can be measured and achieved and begin to focus on your be. If you get the be and become that state of am, the things that are measured and achieved will seek you out. I don't look for promotions. Promotions look for me because I am the promotion before it gets to me. Oh my God, I'm breaking bread. Hey, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein, Vaniqua, you just said it. He had it all and was still depressed and suicidal. Why? Why? Because the things that are measured and achieved can never bring you happiness. And people, I'm gonna tell you, people that grew up in poverty like me, and people that have the same similar struggles like me, believe that if I had a little bit more money, that would change every situation or circumstance in my life. Newsflash, it's a mindset. You can get a little bit more money and be in the same situation you were in yesterday. If you don't believe me, if you got a 2 to 3% raise every year over the course of 10 years, your income has increased 30%. And I guarantee your lifestyle stayed the same. Newsflash, it's a state. It's a state. You could have obtained 5 or 6 new clients in the same and increase your income by that 5 or 6 new clients, and your lifestyle and your bank account stayed the same. Why? Because poverty is a mindset. Some of us have been married more than once or twice, and I got married one time, got divorced, got married again. It sucked, got divorced. I'm thinking about getting married again, and that one will end in a divorce as well because the person on the other side of the last name is not the problem. The problem is my be as I approach marriage. You can marry 3 different men and have the same outcome, or you can marry 3 different women and have the same outcome, because it's not about the things that can be measured or achieved. It's about the state of be. If you, man, I'm breaking bread right now. If you're going through a situation where you went through a divorce, it's nothing. It happened. Now you gotta work on your be so it doesn't happen again. You got to work on your be. Oh, I just got to find this kind of guy this time. This kind of guy is going to be the same situation if you don't change your be. You can just change the names out. It's a mindset thing. Come on, Lisa. I'm so far off my notes. For example, being happy is a state. It's not a goal to be measured and or achieved. Being prosperous is not a goal to be measured or achieved. Being healthy, believe it or not, being healthy in your body, nothing missing, nothing lacking. Being healthy in your body, the same thing. It's a mindset. And boy, at some point, when I remember 20 years ago, I was healthy. 20 years. If your mindset is now that I'm not healthy, 20 years ago, you probably were not healthy. It's a mindset. Change your mind, you change your life. Not enough communication to move forward or make a marriage worthwhile. All of the above, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. I go around the same mountain 5 to 6 times. Why? It's your state of be. Every time I get here, something happens to push me back down. Why? It's your state of be. Hey, Brandon, thank you for joining us. It's your state of be. Come on, Q. Holla at your boy. It's your state of be until I can change that state of am or that state of be. My current circumstances stays the same, although I can attract a few more things that can be measured or achieved. I can achieve the few more things, and my state of be don't change. I'm still living in the same situation. Yeah, externally, I got more things, but my state of be is the same, and my outcome eventually looks the same. We cannot change that. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I love motivation. I love inspiration. I love encouraging people to go get the houses, to go get the cars, to go become, to like the army, be all that you could be great. But I simply understand one thing through my journey and my course of life, that if I don't change me, I can't change the stuff. I'm telling you right now, if I don't change my mind, and if I don't change my be, if I don't change my am, all that stuff will come and it'll dissipate like steam. We'll wonder where it went. Listen, man, your am, your be is like a magnet. And the stronger your be is, the greater the magnetism. I think that's a word. The greatest the magnetic pull from your be is to all these other things. Like I'm telling you, like that's why I said God is not a respecter of feelings. God is not a respecter of tears. God is a respecter of be. Okay, motivational teacher. What is faith? Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Faith is your be. He is a respecter of your be. Making decisions like I've already got it, although I don't already have it. I make decisions as one that's in authority when maybe I already don't have the authority because I know that my state is B. I know my goal is to be promoted to the next level. So I go ahead and prepare my mind, my be, my am for the next level. That's why when I get in the next level, it almost seems seamless because I've been becoming for so long that I've got in the habit of becoming that I don't know when I became. Oh my God, I'm breaking bread right now. I'm so in love with becoming, I can't tell you when I became. And Michelle Obama wrote the book Becoming, and I loved it. And she talked about how we never reach the end of our journey. But during this journey, there are different milestones that we need to hit along the way. And I'm telling you, fall so in love with the process of becoming that you don't even know when I hit the mark. Man, that's a bread-breaking moment right there. That's why people that's worried about measuring it, worried about the measurements and the achieves, they give themselves ceiling. The person that only focus on becoming, you have no ceiling. Because it's never finite. That's a bread-breaking moment. That's why I love it. Paul said, I'm content in all things, but I press toward the mark of the high calling. He said, I'm content, but I keep pressing. Lest myself won't be disqualified from this race. There's nothing wrong with you saying, I'm happy where I am, but I know I can become more. God honors that thought. Well, you don't want to get too high-minded. You don't want to get too big. The world tell us, try to control us with our thought process so we can stay working for them the rest of our life, so we can stay dependent upon the system. So I tell you, don't get too high-minded. Don't think more than yourself than you ought to. I'm challenging all that thinking. I'm challenging all that thinking. I'm telling you to think as much as yourself as you can, knowing that the great I am works in and through you to accomplish his will in your life. Think all greater is greater is him that's in me than he that's in the world. Then why in the world should I not think I'm more? I'm telling you, I said it yesterday on Bridging the Nations, when you start believing that kind of stuff, your life takes on a different posture. When I believe that God who created the heavens and the earth are working in and through me, my life has a different posture at that moment. Oh my God, I'm breaking bread. I once did walk with my head bowed, my head low, not knowing what's going on for tomorrow. I once did walk afraid and in fear, not knowing what I'm looking for to tomorrow. I once did walk in a poverty mindset, not understanding who works in and through me to complete me. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. I know who works in and through me to complete the vision and to make it plain. I know who works in and through me to bring the results out of my life. Don't think no more than yourself than what you should. I'm telling you the complete opposite. If you see a doggone wall, believe that you can run through it. If there's a mountain in your life, I'm telling you to believe that you can speak to the mountain and see it cast right there away from you. If you got to go in through it or over it, I want you to believe that mountain is no match for my be. Oh God, that's strong right there. That mountain is no match for my be. I want you, man, think more of yourself than you should. I want you to look at your bank account and say, man, I want you to look at your bank account and say, man, I got so many zeros on the end of this thing, I can't even keep up with it. I want you to start walking and moving differently. Confidence level shifted. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, man, the moment you start being, see, most of us, Pat, let me address that situation, Pat. You hit on something. Most of us don't have the confidence to be because we haven't put in the work. Most of us don't have the confidence to be because we haven't put in the work of becoming to have the confidence to become. Because we're so unstable in our words. We're so unstable and we're so undisciplined in our thinking that we don't have the confidence when it's time to speak to that mountain. We don't have the confidence to speak to it because I've been so undisciplined with my mind. And I've been so unbridled with my tongue. So therefore my beat can't be strong. And then I start weighing, is it really for me? Did he really mean for me? Did I see that right in my vision? And we start looking for ways to cop out of our success because our work ethic and our drive and our grind does not match the B. So your confidence, I'm going to tell you right here, I'm the motivational teacher to the masses. Faith without works is dead, being alone. If your B ain't strong, stop worried about the other stuff. You got to discipline your mind. You got to bridle that tongue. Now, man, that tongue, who can bridle it? Until you learn how to discipline this and bridle this, it's just jargon. Everything else you say is just jargon. If you're not working to bridle that tongue and to discipline that mind, the rest of it, how can the majority of the potential go back to the grave? Because people don't discipline their mindset and they don't speak. They don't bridle their tongues and they're unstable in all their ways. And when it's time to speak to the sycamore tree, or when it's time to speak to your bank account, or is it time to speak to cancer or to speak to diabetes, I have very little confidence in my beat because I spent more time talking about my current situation. I spent more time talking about my C than I have talking about my B. We get on the phone, call everybody, tell them about what's going on. Oh, pray for me. They told me the cancer gonna kill me. They told me, look, my sugar diabetes, don't you ever claim your sugar diabetes. Don't you ever claim your cancer. It was never yours from the foundation of the earth. Your seed and your environment tricked you to believe that it was yours. It was never yours from the foundation of the earth. Don't dare make a confession that anything that God is, everything that God gave was good. So if God didn't give it to you, don't claim that it's yours. And you got to see your B stronger than your C so you can get out that thing. Boy, I'm 30 minutes. What, I'm 37 minutes in? All right. I'm 37 minutes in. I'm about a third of the way down. I don't know if I'm finished this, but let's ride on. My mom said faith without works is dead, being alone. Vinico said we speak negative affirmation over our lives, thinking it would change into positive ones. That's a misconception. That's one of your enemies. That's one of your enemies. Man, I'm telling you, who can bridle? If you can bridle this tongue, the rest of this stuff is easy. If you can begin to speak only what you be, oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment. If you can begin to speak only what you be, oh, you're unstoppable. Come on now, down talk our own vision, demean our own dream, no works. Come on, man. Can't be double-minded. Q said undeveloped faith is the key. College degrees, but no substance. Speaking to Mike, words have power. Stop claiming the devil's lies. Come on. He said, I'm dropping a whole word tonight. Thank you, Angelique. Break that bread, Tina. Come on. You have what you say. No doubt. Hey, I love when y'all get in this conversation. Y'all definitely elevate this conversation. If you haven't, please invite your top 5 relationships. I got about 15 more minutes on this thing, and then we're going to get ready to close this thing and bring it on in. Hey, we're going to get, like, hey, Reverend Temple will say, we're going to get ready to have this altar call when it's over. All right, let me transition. Let me make this last statement one more time so I can transition to my next one. A state of being is made up of qualities and not life goals. For example, being happy is a state. It's not a goal to be measured or achieved. All right. The great thing is you can control your own state of being. When you choose which state of being you'd like to experience, you'll be able to determine and direct your actions. And this is the piece where the world doesn't want you to know that you control. The world does not want you to know that you are able to determine your direct and indirect own. A couple said, no, say I need, hey, Chew said, I need, nah, dog, I need more than 15. Come on, dog. I might get a little overtime tonight, Chew. You can control your own state of being and your own state of I am. When you choose your state of being, you're like to choose experience, you'll be able to determine and direct your own actions. You choose what you believe. Oh my God, that's awesome. You choose what you believe. What you believe or which version of the story that you tell yourself usually dictate your outcomes. I give my mom, who's on here tonight, I give my mom a ton of credit that my dad was in and out of prison my whole life. My dad sold drugs. My dad, I mean, when he was out, he did well for us. He did as much as he knew how to do. My dad didn't know his dad. So for the simple fact that I know my dad, he outperformed his dad. And I love the fact that my mom protected my I am and my sister's I am as it relates to my dad. She never talked negative about my dad. She never told her that your dad's a bunch of trash. He ain't here for you. He don't come to your game. She never talked down that I can remember about my dad. And so she protected me in that sense that I did not grow up with anger and resentment toward my dad, because that would no doubt reflect in my relationships with my two sons. So by my mom, she helping me choose that action of forgiveness. Oh man, choosing that one of love. Come on, man. It gave me a different outlook that can allow me to have a different result or a different action as it relates for my two boys. Come on, man. We're gonna break bread tonight. So by making the choice to not have resentment in my past, it gave me freedom for the future. So for people that have resentment in your past, you are choosing fear in the future, because resentment is rooted in fear and unbelief. And where there's fear and unbelief, they're going to always lead to you not being the complete version of who you are to whomever. Sometimes we limit ourselves by harboring unforgiveness. We limit ourselves by harboring hate. We limit ourselves by the things that we went through, and we tend to see life through the lens of what I went through and not through the lens of what I'm becoming. Come on, Facebook user. We tend to see it. So if I have resentment in the past, it no doubt, undoubtedly, it will equal fear in the future. Resentment, the base and the root. Oh, should I go? Yeah, I'm going to go there. The base and the root emotion of resentment is fear. If there's somebody that you have resentment, unforgiveness, it's doing more harm to you than it is to the person that you're hating or you have resentment. Because I know that you're on here, your great I am is special. I know that your B is strong. For anybody that can sit here and listen to me 42 minutes, you got something on the inside of you. We choose to create a better legacy. Come on, Angelique. We choose what we believe. Come on, if you're on here, I know that there's something you're trying to get to, and by harboring hate and unbelief and resentment is hindering you expressing your whole self to the earth. All your enemy want to do is to hinder you from expressing your whole self to this earth. If I could just get you to express yourself at 40, 50, 60%, your enemy, all those, what are generational curses, ladies and gentlemen? What are generational curses are real. They are imps and they are spirits that's been sent to hinder your generation for outcomes. They call it the ghost of your past. Some of our ghost goes back generations of where we cannot affect what happened in the past, but by me living and being present in my present gives me the ability to move forward in my future without allowing the ghost of my past or the ghost of my ancestor past to continue to hinder me. I told you who I am. I am a generational curse breaker. That's, man, I'm telling you, I'm like my boy David. Y'all know why David couldn't build a temple, because he had too much blood on his hand. When I leave this earth, I'm going to have so much blood on my hand because I'm going to slay every generational curse that ever been over the Williams, Neal household life genealogy for years, for forever. Why you didn't be? I got too much blood on my hand. But you know what David did? He left all the wood. He left everything Solomon needed. He slayed all the enemies that Solomon might have had to come against him when it came time to build God's temple. So, motivational teacher, what are you saying? If you see no more value in your life but to be a generational curse slayer, you will trust me. Things will be added unto you. If I'm telling you, I know that I was sent to this earth to redeem my whole genealogy, the whole male side of my dad. I was sent to break the curse of not finishing high school. I was the first male on my dad's side to finish high school. I crushed that curse. Not only I crushed it, I took that curse and I became greater than, oh my God, I became greater than the curse. The greater I am working through me became greater than the curse. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. I was the first male to go to college. Motivational teacher to the masses. You broke another, man, I took the doggone curse of not going to a university. And I said, who could, man, boy, I got chill bumps. Who can stand against God's elect? And I stood up and said, generational curse, you got to come see me. You got to come see me. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm John. I'm the one. You got to come through me. So I took that curse. Not only did I take the curse, but I had the audacity to sign with the Harvard of the South. I had the audacity to graduate from Vanderbilt University. Oh my God. I had the audacity. I took the curse of men in my family not going to prison. All the men on my dad's side have been to prison for at least one stint. Have been to jail for at least one stint. And here I am. Who is that? Man, who is this uncircumcised Philistine called prison that should stand against God's army? And I sat there and I looked at it. I remember when I was 7, I heard the doors close behind me. When I was visiting my dad, I said, this is a place I'll never go. If I never go. And I said, who should stand against God? And I took that. And I said, man, I'm smacking it upside the head. Why? Because the great I am lives in and through me to accomplish. I ain't done yet. You got to feel your boy on this one. You got now. I'm telling you, this is my war cry. I'm telling you that my life ain't no different than yours. I'm telling you that your life is no different than mine. So I sat there and I took that curse of poverty. And I said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that's just put as a man? I said, I got to do it. I took the curse of poverty. I said, you can no longer reside in my house, my children's houses, my niece's houses, my nephew's houses, or anybody that with my last name or that's connected to me. You can no longer reside in those houses. I take that doggone curse. I put it across my knee. I break it in half and throw it as far as the east is from the west. It can no longer stand against me. What is this uncircumcised Philistine that want to stand up? Come on, man. I know what I grew up in, but what I grew up in didn't have to, my B became stronger than my C and what I went through. I'm breaking bread right now. The moment you understand that your life is a seed offering. Oh my God, that's a bread breaking. Oh, your life is a seed offering. Man, you got to understand that unless that seed be planted, you can't bring many more that look like you behind you. Your life, man, there better be portraits or of the great I am or Awaken Your I Am pictures all over my kids' houses, because that's the day their life changed forever. I'm telling you, your life has to be a seed offering. Unless you're willing to go down and say, man, I can come up greater. You got to go down and say, I can come up greater. I can come up greater. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. But I got it. My life has to be a seed offering. None of those things I just named had anything to do with a goal that can be measured or achieved. None of those things that I just named that I had to break over my life had nothing to do with the state of being with a goal that can be measured or achieved. It had everything to do with me setting up the next generation, me being greater, And my son's going to be greater because the knowledge my people destroy for lack of knowledge, because the information and knowledge that I pass to them, they will be undoubtedly greater than what I was in the earth. And their reach shall be farther, and they're going to be able to do more in the kingdom of God than I ever could. Why? Because I slayed their enemies. Look at these hands. These hands are full of blood. Full of blood. I love taking what they said couldn't be done and doing it. Why? Because I'm busting ceilings for the next generation. Come on, man. If the seed go down and be broken, it can come back greater. The seed is always within itself. The seed is within itself. Resentment in the past equals fear in the future. Gratitude in your past equal faith for the future. You choose this day by which story you tell yourself, what version of the truth you believe. You choose this day on what your tomorrow tends to look like. We are in more control than what we know of our own lives. We like to say the Democrats and the Republicans are in control of it. We like to say that the blacks or the whites are in control of it. We like to say that all these other people control me. I'm telling you right now, the moment you begin to master your present is the moment you master your future. That's why I don't take no heed for tomorrow, because I'm mastering my now. If I can own my present, if I can own my be, my am currently right now in this moment, then I automatically control my tomorrow. That's why he said, take no thought for tomorrow. That's why he said, I clothe the lilies. I do all that stuff. I feed the birds of the air. Take no thought for tomorrow. Have gratitude. Gratitude equals faith. Be thankful about the half a cup you do have. Stop acknowledging what's missing in the cup. God, you said, Mona, is that realistic? Is that, they say in mental health and what is it? And 12 steps not to do that. I'm challenging you to be greater than 12 steps. I'm challenging you to be greater than your own mental health. I'm challenging you right now to allow your be to control your thinking, to allow your be to control your speaking. And the only way to be able to do that is to get in and figure out who you are. The reason why people abuse substances is because they don't know. They're confused about who they are, and there's something on the inside of them that says who you are is not great enough. So who I am need to be tainted with. Who I am need to be changed at the chemical level. That's why I do crack. That's why I do drugs. That's why I drink alcohol, excessive alcohol, because I got to change who I am at the molecular level in order for me to become the greatest version of myself. And I'm telling you, that's a lie from the pits. I got to change myself at the molecular level. When I have a little drink, I say what I want to say. I got to change myself at the molecular level to be someone different. I'm challenging you right now. You need no external substance to be the best version of who you are. I'm challenging you right now. You don't even need another human to be the best version of who you are. You don't need that. And that's why God, I'm not going to finish this night, but I'm going to get my last point out. That's why God has always been chasing you. See, I find it so funny that people go through things in life and says, recreate you. I love that, Pat. People go through things in life and they say, where's God? People go through things in their life and be like, I feel like I'm alone. And the whole time God has been chasing you. 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 And we look at moments in our life, and when we take a retroactive look at our life and we look at it objectively, we see where things that I thought were meant to hurt me actually worked out for my good. I remember Vanique was saying on here that she didn't pass an exam the first time. And the level that she's grown now, she's talking about running the whole nursing department. I see Angelique picked up and moved across country by faith. I'm saying it takes mountain moving decisions. Slow down and let God. Come on, Coach T. I see Coach T doing great things. He lost over 100 pounds. Why? Because he came to himself and said, man, my B is stronger. This is not what I was meant to be, so I got to become it, what I was meant to be. He's been chasing you since the foundation of the earth. And I love like Philippians 2:5, he said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Let this mind be. If I can get his mindset, I can get his manifestation. He's been chasing you to say, hey, Aunt, you know what? I gotta let you see that your decision making is maybe not the best it could be. So I gotta let you live in this room the size of a closet. I gotta let you go through divorce. I gotta let you not have that nice house. You can't even afford the apartment. And I gotta let you see that how I'm chasing you, that sometimes when you make decisions out of your poverty mindset and you don't make decisions with the great I am living in and through you, knowing that I possess the power and ability to do exactly what I will. And when you make those decisions, this is where those decisions land you. When you make decisions out of insecurity and out of fear, these decisions land you here. And it's in those moments where we learn more about ourselves. Because if every bad decision we made worked for us, then we'll never know that it was bad. We'll never know that it's bad. But the moment we start making decisions in line where the great I am sees me and where I know my beat is the moment we start having explosive growth. Let this mind be in you. Let this mind be. Why, motivational teacher? He could have talked to us in a lot of different ways. He could have spoke to us in a lot of different ways. And he said, no, I need for you to do one thing. Let this mind be. If you let this mind be, I can get you everything. Let me say it. You can become all that you're supposed to be. Come on, man. I'm breaking bread. I got people chiming into this conversation. Your I am a mom. Your I am connect with the great I am. Relationship with God. He's been chasing you since the foundation of the earth. He's been waiting to get you. And see, I'm going to get to this comment. Let me go ahead. God spoke to me during a procedure and said, my job is not done, which is hard to explain to folks that wouldn't understand. It's not done. If we're on this side of the dirt, we got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. And this is the thing that I want us to know, that we must understand that all the things that we went through in our life was not meant to hurt us or to make us quit, or will not make us to have resentment, was not to make us be in fear. Everything we went through in our lives, everything that we went through in our lives was to awaken our I am. Everything you went through. And I'm telling you, that motivational teacher, are you being sarcastic? I'm telling you to see the cup to be half filled. I'm telling you that the things that you went through, I have no doubt that when I was visiting my dad in Clio, Alabama at the age of 7, when them doors closed, boom. When the doors closed, boom. I have no doubt that it was ordained for that moment in my life to happen, because it was at that moment when I was 11 saying, I'm not doing anything to go to jail. I mean, when I was 7. When I was 7, it was at that moment I said, I'm not doing anything to go to jail. My dad being in prison at that moment in time, which some would say would be, counterproductive. I cried all the way to Clio. My grandma and my uncle made me go see my daddy, and there's no doubt that moment worked for me. It worked out for me, because at that moment I heard the door. I said, I'll never go to jail. And I've been putting my life on a trajectory, making decisions in line with not going to jail, even when it wasn't popular. And so you say motivational teacher, that's a small thing. Nope. I say that's a big thing, because you got to understand my genealogy. Every man on my dad's side had been to jail. You got to understand my genealogy. And I think sometimes people can look at somebody else's story and look at somebody else's bout and look at somebody else's struggle and say, how can they struggle like that? You can say that because you don't know their story. You're comparing their story to your story. And some of us are hypocrites because we sit there and pretend like our story is different. But if we look up and down this list, we got more in common than we have that's different. That's why it's never up to me to say you're crazy for selling your car, moving across country to do your call, and your gift is different than my call and my gift. That's why I can't speak on what you do. I just broke bread. And that's why you shouldn't be so quick to listen to others that speak on what you do, because you don't know their state of being. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, well, I don't know how that person get homeless. You don't know that person's story and how they got there. It's your job to be sympathetic and to have empathy and show them the love of Christ. Ooh, I don't know how they can stand beside that road and shake that cup and ask for money. It's not your job to understand it. You don't know what the great I am is doing to awaken their I am. It's not your job to understand it. It's your job to respond as one that let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. It's time for you to start being. I don't know how my sister could have made that decision that did that to me. It ain't your job to understand how they did that to you. It's your job to forgive. Stop trying to understand and start being. Ooh, I don't know how they could take 10% of their money down there to that church every Sunday. Pastor drive a big Cadillac, the church building paved in gold. I don't know how. It's not your job to understand. Stop talking about their be. Stop talking about their be. And it's time for you just to let this mind that be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Stop focusing on what they're doing and focus on what's your response to your be. Man, that's a bread breaking moment. We got answers for everybody's life except our own. We got answers for how everybody else is supposed to respond except our own. We know answers for everybody's life. Everybody in my family come to me for answers, but I got none for my own life. I'm double-minded, and I'm double-minded, unstable in all my ways in my own life, but people is asking me all the advice in my family. I'm telling you to stop trying to understand and start being. I'm telling you, in this thing called life, you're not meant to understand everything. God told Abraham, just go, don't worry about, I'm going to show you somewhere. You just go. I'm going to make your lands full of stars. You can see, you just go. David, I'm going to make you king. I ain't going to tell you the time. But at some point, you've been anointed king. You ain't going to get it today. You just go. John the Baptist, you're not going to that synagogue. You go out in them woods. You might be there for 40 years. You just go. See, we try to rationalize and we try to understand. And that whole thing about this mind that be in you, which is in Christ, is all about not being able to walk in faith without having all the answers. It's the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. That is the exact example of what faith is, and yet we want to understand everything before we take one action. That's the complete opposite of faith, ladies and gentlemen. Your life success, your life substance is in the things that you cannot see. I believe so much so that I am the DON. I believe so much so that I am the hair replacement specialist. I believe so much so that I am the motivational teacher to the masses, that I begin to prepare myself, although I don't have the masses. Although I haven't put new hair in people's head or whatever. I don't know what hair replacement specialists do. Although I don't have my office on that C-suite floor yet. Although I don't have my paintings in every store across the U.S. yet, but I believe so much so in my vision that I paint. I believe so much so in my vision that I began to carry myself as a director would. I believe so much so in my vision that I believe to prepare as if I'm speaking to millions. Why? Because I don't have to understand. I know my B is stronger than my C. I don't have to see it to know it. I just have to be it to know it. I just broke bread. We're going to come back next week, and I'm going to tackle this next piece, maybe later on this week. State of being versus state of mind. I didn't get into that yet. I didn't get into that today, but we got a great idea about the be. And we got a great idea about the state of am. If I could just learn to walk in those two. I told you last week, we're going to cry. Lisa, I read your message. Sometimes it's going to hurt. We're going to be disappointment. We're going to have some failures along the way. I know that. Trust me on that. I'm not saying that it's unnatural for you to cry. It's unnatural for you to hurt. It's unnatural for you to feel pain. I understand that. I know that we've been enduring for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But I'm telling you, even though you cry, don't let it affect your be. Although Jesus wept, although you crying, don't let it affect your be. Although it hurts you to your core, don't start speaking negatively against what you've done. I know they stole your money when they're supposed to be helping you, but don't let that affect your be. Don't let that affect your be. Yeah. And I know my last point, I can keep going. My last point. I know this is contrary to what you hear from a lot of motivational speakers because they believe that hunger. Yeah, and I believe in hunger, that you should want it bad. I believe in hunger. I believe in effort. I believe in hard work. I believe in all that stuff, dedication, commitment. I believe in all that stuff, but I believe in that stuff secondarily to your be. I believe in all that. I believe in that secondarily to your awakened I am. Your awakened I am, when you look at the characteristics of an awakened I am, all those things have been attached to it. I'm gonna break bread one day, y'all. Y'all keep showing up. Keep showing up. It's an hour and 4. It's funny, man. I'm telling y'all. It's so funny that I remember when I started these things, I couldn't go more than 6 minutes. And then at one time I went back and listened to a message 2017. 2017, I was going 20 minutes. And now it's like I can go an hour and like, bam, let's ride. You know why? Because that's part of development and growth. And don't judge yourself right now today because all you can do is 4 minutes. Keep working. Keep driving. Keep striving to be more. Keep becoming more. Thank you so much, Vaniqua. Thank you, Angelique. Thank you, Lisa, YouTube, showing up. Thank you, Chu, for chiming into this conversation. I think whoever invited you, hey, you all make the difference in these Motivational Mondays. And if you have not, please go subscribe to my YouTube page at Williams Inspires and go invite 5 of your friends to do it also. And on Facebook, Williams Inspires on Facebook, on Twitter, Waging War 32. Thank you, ATBA, for joining us tonight. Thank you all that I'm looking at on this text thread. You all make the chat thread. You all make the difference in this conversation. And as long as y'all show up, I'm showing up. So let's continue to keep this grind. Let's continue to keep growing together. And let's become what God said we can become. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It